I mean, amongst the snowy weather and the state of the nation and the lies of Rachel Reeves and the farmers' dispute and all of that, now we've got Yvette Cooper saying she's going to bring back public confidence in the police. And it sounds like a pretty tough job, doesn't it?
Ah, fantastic, isn't it? Everything's going to be fine again. What are we going to talk about, I wonder?
Well, I mean, I'm afraid she may have quite a large gap to fill between what she wants to be and where we currently are, I think.
Yeah, so the main points they're looking at are neighbourhood policing. Yes, we need to inject money into the neighbourhood policing because those are our eyes and ears and they can nip problems in the bud. So we need a lot of that, and we need people to stay in the police so they can get the experience, get the knowledge of the ground around them, just like the old days, you know, and that is it. Information is everything, so you're not reacting to everything.
Yes.
And that puts the pressure on the frontline emergency services, of course. Then IT and forensics, great. $500 million into that, fantastic. We need that, but please let's not have an NHS system where they had their computers, spent billions on it, and then abandoned it.
Right.
We haven't got the best record. This government has, any government hasn't got the best record for getting IT and stuff working.
Right.
We tend to go for the cheapest bid, and it fails miserably. But the bit that's concerning me is the government performance unit. They love data, and who believes Home Office figures? Seriously.
Right.
Oh, crime is down, everyone. Well, it certainly doesn't feel it.
Right. We used to get this all the time. I used to, when the Tories were still in power, I used to get Tory ministers on who would say, oh, you know, the crime figures are down. I'd be like, well, ask anybody in London whether crime is down, and they'll tell you it's not. Crime is obviously up. So how are the figures down? They just manipulate them.
Well, exactly. And I know when I was in the police service not so long ago, in the police force, then we would be pressured to go for certain crimes. And if somebody was disruptive in the street where they just had a bit of drunk and disorderly, where they'd spent the night in the cell and disappeared in the morning, it'd be, are you sure it's not Section 5 public order causing alarm, harass and distress? Because we'll get a tick in the box for that one. Right. And this is where the problem comes. We're going to go for certain crime that score the points, but not necessarily the ones that have the most impact on the public, or the fairest for the subject themselves. And of course, you know, $500 million seems a lot when you consider one police force, Devon and Cornwall Police, for example, budget is $400 million. So that's nearly $500 million, sort of, within 43 forces. It's a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money. And of course, if they're actually spending that money on supporting safer streets, great, but that's to do with looking at neighbourhood policing, National Crime Agency and counter-terrorism, great, but you know, we're spending, what is it, $3 billion on hotels every year.
Well, exactly,
so
right.
Again,
well, you know, we need a lot. We need a lot more. It's probably more than that, actually. I've just got a bit of breaking news to interrupt you with, Harry. Bloomberg UK is reporting that Ukraine has made the first long-range missile strike inside of Russia. This appears that Ukrainian defence forces struck a military facility on Russian territory, and of course we know that Kremlin has threatened a nuclear response if Ukraine does something like that. So we'll wait with bated breath to see what happens. But the other thing that they haven't done, Harry, and it's all about, you know, manpower, it seems to me, because they're all saying they haven't got enough people to do what they need to do. There's no mention in this document I've got from the Home Office, which is a sort of outline of where the announcements are going to go today. There's nothing in here that says what they're going to do about these non-crime hate incidents, which have obviously been very much in the news in the last week or so because of what happened to Alison Pearson over in Essex. They've said nothing about, we won't be doing any more of that. So I presume they will be continuing to do more of that.
No, if they want to boost trust in the police, then they really need to stop governing the police. Yeah. And that's the problem. And they're hoping that something like Ukraine and Russia take over the news airwaves very quickly. Because, yeah, it's disgusting, this non-crime stuff. It started when I was in the police. We didn't like it. It wasn't fair. It wasn't just. Again, it was scoring the points because it was easy to detect. And yeah, don't get me wrong, there's some nasty little people out there that need a little bit of slap on the legs, verbal one, before you go into the crime. But I'm talking about persistency here. Some basically adult bully who needs to be told to wind their neck in, and that was effective. But when you're going after housewives who are just angry because they've got some history of being a victim, and they live stream something and call some people tramps, it's disgraceful that we are imprisoning these people and letting other people out, or not even putting people spreading baby video sex offences against them. Not 2 years suspended. What is that about?
Well, exactly.
It's no good.
Exactly right. And funnily enough, Hugh Ed was back in the news again today. Harry, thanks very much indeed. Harry Tangye, former police sergeant.